A couple minutes here. I'll do a short intro for us, and then we will dive right into the content. Thank you for being here with us today. My name is Patrick Linsman, Senior Program Manager at the Center for Business Growth and Innovation. We are a center at UNI that does small business and economic development outreach, working with companies all the way from start to exit. And we work with companies all across the state. And we do a lot of that through our iasourcelink.com platform, which is probably where you heard about or saw that we were doing these webinars. Looks like we got everybody loaded in here now. So a couple quick things. If you have questions throughout today's webinar, please drop them into the Q&A box, and Sophie will get to them when she's got time. This session is being recorded and will be available to be viewed afterwards. So it'll be up there and out there. And then I will be posting a link to the slides in the chat. So with that, our presenter today is Sophie Troxel. Sophie is a member of the Iowa SourceLink and the CBGI team. She's a graduate of the University of Northern Iowa with a degree in strategic public relations and has been working with us on digital marketing for, I think, 2.5 years now. So we're excited to talk about basics of Instagram. And today we're doing this in about a half an hour. So we got 30 minutes, a lot of content to cover in half an hour. And again, thank you for being here. Sophie, thanks for being here, and take it away.
All right, thanks, Patrick. And thank you all for taking the time out of your Tuesday to talk about Instagram for business. I'm so honored to present you all with the final webinar of our series. Like Patrick mentioned, we're going to try to cover a lot of information today. So just as a reminder, if you don't catch it now, we will be posting this webinar to our YouTube channel, and I'll send you all a link to that once it's up. Over the past month or so, my colleague Samantha and I have covered a range of social media marketing related topics through our mini digital webinar series, which are all available for you to watch as well. So once again, I'll be sure to send you all the link after our time together today. With that being said, let's talk Instagram. Instagram is a must for many small businesses for a few reasons. One, it's simply just a way to showcase your product or service on a more visual platform so customers can really see what you have to offer. In 2019, Instagram's internal data showed that 90% of users follow at least one business page, but if you're like me and a lot of my friends, it's a lot more than one. So if you don't already have an Instagram, you could be missing out on a lot of potential customers. Quick disclaimer, you will need a smartphone for Instagram. It's geared more towards mobile users, and you actually can't even post content or do half of what you could do on your phone on a desktop. So with that being said, let's talk about how to create a business profile. In order to create a business profile, first you'll need to have a personal account. And then once you have your personal account, you can convert it to a business profile. First things first, you'll need to download the app on your smartphone. And once you're downloaded, you're going to click sign up with phone or email, and Instagram will first prompt you to create a username, and this should be the username of your business. And if that name isn't available, you could always add an underscore or the abbreviation of your city or town to the end of the name. I think we have a restaurant here called Centro, and they use Centro DSM just because that name was pretty popular on Instagram. And next you'll add some contact info like phone and email, and like before, this should be the contact of your business rather than your personal information. Once you've created your account, Instagram will probably give you a bunch of suggestions to add a profile pic or follow contacts in your phone, but I always advise just to skip over it because once you get into your profile, you can really see all of the info you need to add in one place rather than just doing it in bits and pieces. So to do this, you're going to click the Edit Profile button, and you can see here, you'll need to add name, username, website, and bio. When you're finished with this, you'll click the Switch to Professional Account at the bottom of the page so you can begin converting your account to a business profile. To do this, you'll need to select a category, and there are so many to choose from, so you can browse the list or You can also search for something closely related to your business. And once you choose, you'll then be asked if you are a business or a creator. And you're going to select business most likely because creator is more so for public figures. Instagram will then prompt you to do a couple of things. So first things first, make sure all of your contact info is correct, and then connect a Facebook page. If you don't already have one for your business, I would highly recommend creating one, as you won't really get as many business features without one. If you need some help with this, one of our webinars discussed the process of creating a Facebook business page pretty in depth, so you can always refer to that. But once you link a Facebook page, Instagram will take you back to your profile. You'll see that you can edit your profile if you need to make any changes. And you'll also see a promotions and insights button, which are a couple of features unique to business accounts. So with that, what goes into an Instagram profile? There are a couple of business features that we really want you to take advantage of. As far as contact information, you should include your business email address, phone number, and physical address if you have one. And that way users can connect with you directly. So to do this, you'll go to Edit Profile, Profile Display, and turn on the button that says Display Contact Info. And you can see in the second screenshot, our Iowa SourceLink page has the option to contact, and that is what it'll look like to users on their page when they see your Instagram business profile. As mentioned, make sure you have a category that accurately reflects your business offerings, because this is visible to users. And then last but not least, include a call to action button. So depending on your offerings, there are different buttons available, but this could be a button that says something like book now, for example. And to do this, you'll go to Edit Profile once again and click an Add an Action button. As for profile photo, the best choice for most businesses is your logo. We highly recommend using your logo. It's important to use the same photo that you use on other social platforms in order to help people constantly identify your page. And your profile photo displays at 110 by 110 pixels. And I know we get a lot of questions about the best image size, so 110 by 110 is your answer for Instagram. And this just ensures that your photo displays in the highest quality possible. Your image will be cropped into a circle, so make sure to adjust the image so it crops well and nothing is cut off. Now let's talk about your bio. Your Instagram bio is only 150 characters long, but it needs to do a lot of heavy lifting for your page. Your bio tells first-time viewers who you are, what your business is about, and really why they should care enough to click that follow button. So some quick tips for this: be sure to use your brand's voice. You should definitely convey your personality a little bit, whether your voice is professional, a little bit cheeky. This is what will help viewers really feel that connection to your page. And once again, hit that follow button. When it comes to your bio, you also have the option to include hashtags like seen here. These are clickable links and will display any user's content who has used your hashtag in a post. As you can see, Walmart included the hashtag Walmart, which is kind of custom to their brand. And if you click this hashtag, you'll actually see every image that users have posted with the hashtag Walmart in the caption. So it's a great way to show off some user-generated content. We also recommend creating a hashtag for your own brand. So you could put the hashtag of your organization's name in your profile and then encourage users to use your own hashtag. Also, for bios, you can try utilizing spacing and line breaks, as they do make your bio a little bit easier to read if they're kind of text heavy. So now that your profile is complete, I'm going to give you all a quick tour of Instagram. And this is the screenshot of the homepage. So this is what you'll see when you open up the app. Disclaimer, Instagram is constantly updating and changing their layout, but all of the buttons will remain the same. They have little graphics for each button. So it's a good idea to familiarize yourself with what each button means. And at the top, you'll see our Iowa SourceLink logo, and this is where Instagram stories live. I kind of just created this account for the purpose of this webinar so I could get the accurate screenshots. So clearly we don't really follow anyone, but say we were to follow 500 people, it's pretty common that you'll see like 20 or 30 stories up at any given time. So that top bar should be full of different profile pictures. And along the bottom, you'll see a bunch of little icons. So from left to right, you have the home page, which is the little house icon, the magnifying glass or search icon, the plus icon, which you will use to take and post photos, the heart icon, where you can view your notifications, and the logo, which will take you to your profile. And if you look at the top right, you'll see the messenger icon, and this is where you can view and manage your direct messages. And with the Facebook business page linked to your Instagram business page, you actually can gain access to both Facebook messages and Instagram message all on one platform. So that's pretty nice. When clicking on the search icon that we just mentioned before, you'll be brought to a bunch of suggested content to browse. But if you look at the top, you'll see the search bar. Once you begin searching for something, you'll see that you can choose between top, meaning top content posted by all Instagrammers or accounts. Accounts, meaning users on Instagram. Tags, as in hashtags, and places as well. For example, I searched foodie using the tags in the last photo. And when you search for a tag, it also shows you how many posts are using the specific tag, which is pretty cool. And that one has like 169 million, which is very, very impressive. Now that you are familiar with the basics of the platform, you might think you're ready to begin posting, but I really want you to take a step back and first understand who you want your content to reach. Instagram demographics are a little bit different than other social platforms, and actually the majority of Instagram users are under the age of 35, with a fairly close split between male and female. So be sure to take that into consideration, because it definitely varies between every platform, but Instagram is pretty specific. So to start, think about who already buys from you and use that to build on your target audience. Look at who follows you in other social media channels. You can do this using your Facebook audience insights or simply reading through the list of those who like your page and doing some of your own investigating. And it might be wise to conduct some competitor research as well. So look at how your competitors post on social media. Look at their voice and the overall look of the content they're pushing out to their audience. Working through your target audience will give you the best possible results on Instagram, especially when it comes to reach, impression, and sales. And I really like the idea of going through and seeing what your competitors are doing, because it just gives you a great example, especially if you're just starting off. It's really nice to just have that context already out there for you, and also just to kind of show you it's possible. So now that we've covered the basics, let's move on to the fun stuff. Once you've gone through the motions, you can begin to post content. And to post a photo, you're going to click the plus button we mentioned earlier. This is at the bottom of your homepage. And from there, you can take a photo, or you can actually upload images from your camera roll as well. You can also do multiple images from your camera roll. So here's an example of what it'll look like when you go to take a photo. This is just a simple picture I took. One thing I'll say is you really just don't have to be a photographer to create visually appealing content. I just found this plant in my room and thought it would be a cool picture to take. But with that, we do have some tips for you for taking some pictures. To start, I strongly suggest only uploading high quality pictures. If it doesn't come out looking that great, just take it again. It's really going to improve the overall look of your page. So you want your followers to take you seriously. And since Instagram is a very visual platform, you will primarily be evaluated by the profile photos on your profile. This is a photo I found from a local business here in Des Moines called CDK Vintage, owned by a woman And she does a great job with posting, so I'm just going to use her as an example. This is a really simple photo she took, but it also could have been very poorly done. I know I've sent a picture of a sweater to one of my friends and it did not look anything like this, but she really amped it up with this photo. You can tell she used some natural lighting, and I think that's really what made this photo so elegant. So instead of working with those harsh fluorescent lights, turn them off and see what you can get when you work with natural lighting. As you can see, she also added some eucalyptus to the bottom of the photo. So always be thinking about what you can add to really elevate your image. And then switch up your angles a bit too. Taking a photo of something off-centered can really improve the viewing experience. And with this, I just wanted to show you the difference that angles and natural lighting can make. I personally think the image on the left looks so much better than the one on the right, and that's just the difference between natural lighting and also putting the subject a little bit off center. Like I said, you don't need to be a photographer. I simply just turned off the light and moved the camera around a little bit, and voila, it looks like an entirely new photo to me. In terms of creating an aesthetic, it's important to have a visual identity that kind of just makes sense for your brand. Once again, here's a snapshot of CDK Vintage's page. And as you can see, everything just has that flow. It looks really nice. It's very cohesive and appealing to the eye. And that's really what I mean when I say to create an aesthetic. Your business might not offer a product as visually appealing as hers, but it doesn't mean you're limited in any way. If you offer services, you could showcase different projects in the works, the tools that make a job laid out in a cool way, or even introduce Instagram to the people who make your company tick. And once you've decided on a content theme, just go for something consistent. That means consistent colors and filters that are easy to spot as your followers scroll through their feed. Can't forget about the caption. So when creating a caption, you really want to tell the story behind your photo. Captions should make your followers think, laugh, and feel a connection to your brand. Creating captions is where you get to bring out your brand's voice for all to see. And I just thought I'd share this caption from Oreo, which I really liked. This caption was used with a photo of rainbow Oreos. And the post was basically Oreo taking their stance on rights for the LGBTQ plus community. And they wanted to convey that they were an ally, and they did so in a very, very simple way. And that was really meaningful to a lot of people, not to mention short and sweet, which you will see with a lot of their content. So stay consistent with your captions as well. When writing captions, you can also include a hashtag. Hashtags make your content a lot easier to find. Instagram hashtags are searchable and clickable, and users can follow hashtags. So for example, I follow the hashtag Golden Doodle on Instagram. And when I follow that hashtag, it doesn't matter really who is posting the content. I don't need to follow their account, but I will still see the post if they have included the hashtag Golden Doodle. Users can follow hashtags on Instagram. So when talking about your news feed, I guess, or your Instagram feed, you'll be loaded with a bunch of different photos from different users that you follow. But also, if you follow hashtags, you will be shown a lot of photos from the hashtags you follow, no matter who is posting it. Something you can do before including a hashtag is to search for the hashtag and see how popular it is by looking at how many posts have been used using that hashtag. And we kind of touched on that before when we talked about using the search bar for tags. So I searched Oreo here, and that has 7.7 million posts. So if I were to use the hashtag Oreo and I wanted to gain maximum exposure, I personally would go with the hashtag Oreo versus the hashtag Oreo cake, just because there are a lot more posts with the hashtag Oreo. All right, moving on to Instagram stories. Stories are a great way to highlight your product or service, and CDK Vintage does a great job of this as she posts all of the new items that come into her shop in a really simple way, as you can see here. On a given day, she will have anywhere from like 10 to 30 stories up advertising her new products. As the items sell, she'll actually go back in and write sold on the story so viewers know that the item is gone. And it also shows viewers that what she has is a hot commodity and kind of creates that sense of urgency to buy her product, which I think is a really great strategy for retail. As you can see here, she posted 2 separate stories to talk about one blazer that was new to her shop, and this gave her viewers something to be excited about, as well as advertising something that could be purchased if they paid her a visit. And she just put some really simple captions on this: obsessed with this vintage floral blazer, and then also kind of zoomed in and showed the size on the other photo. And if you can see that cactus in the bottom of the first picture, she's done that before, and I think it really just adds a nice touch. She also used a black background, and if we think about our everyday, there are so many different walls or spaces that we can post pictures, and just to spice it up a little bit, I think it really pays off and it looks very professional. So to view someone's story, you'll simply tap on their profile photo when visiting their page. If somebody currently has a story, Instagram will let you know by adding a colorful ring around their profile photo. You can also go to the top of your feed to find all of the active stories, kind of how we mentioned before. And these are all by people that you follow. And you can tap on their profile photo from there as well. And the stories will appear in chronological order from the time posted. This really offers you prime real estate. No matter how many other accounts your followers follow, you could be the first one they see. With that being said, the more active you are on Instagram stories, the better chance you have for exposure. So CDK Vintage, I see her stuff all the time because she is constantly posting stories. And once you're viewing a story, you can tap back to the right or to go forward. Sorry, you can tap back to the left and right to go forward. And this will continue to show different stories kind of in a loop until you exit out. So you might be viewing one person's story to begin with, and then as you continue to tap forward, it'll just loop and bring you to the next person's content. And unlike content posted to the news feed, there are no public likes or comments to stories, but you can swipe up directly to reply to the creator. And if somebody messages you through a story, if they reply to your story, it'll appear in your messages. By far, the easiest way to create a story on Instagram is to swipe left while you're on the home page, and this will reveal the story camera. So once your camera is open, you can take a photo or record a video just as you normally would. If you'd like to add an existing photo to your story, you can swipe up from the bottom of the story's camera and you'll see your camera roll appear, where you can take a photo that you've previously taken and choose that and use that on your story. And once you've uploaded a photo, whether you've taken it or you've uploaded it from your camera roll, you'll see that you have a couple of options along the top of the screen, which I've included a snippet of in the little photo at the top. The photo on the left is actually just one that I took for fun to show that this is the layout that you'll see. And it's, I thought it was pretty relevant considering we are talking about Instagram for business. So first, you can download the photo. If you look at the image on the top right, you can download the photo using the downward arrow. You can also add a filter with the smiley face button. You can also add stickers with the square smiley face button. You can draw on the photo with the squiggly line button and lay text over the image with the capital and lowercase a button. Story stickers are super versatile and enable you to add a little bit of extra context to your Instagram story. So to add stickers to your story, take a photo or video and then tap the stickers button, which I just mentioned is the square smiley along the top, and you'll find customizable stickers for weather, current time, location, fun images, and more. And you can also search for terms like tools, and you'll see a bunch of fun tool stickers pop up. So when it comes to resizing and moving stickers, you can move stickers by dragging them across your screen with your finger, and you can also resize them by pinching or expanding it with 2 fingers. And to add your location to your Instagram stories post, tap the sticker button and then select the location option. You should then be presented with a list of nearby locations and a search bar to help you filter and find the right location. I think this is a great tool for small businesses, as you can tag your city or town to show that you're local. And once you find the right location, tap on it and it will be added to your image. And then from there, you can post it or do a little bit more, whatever you like. Instagram stories also have an interactive poll sticker that lets you ask a question and see results from your friends and followers as they vote. So after you've taken a photo or video from your story, you can open up the stickers menu and select the poll sticker. To use this feature, once you've tapped the poll sticker, Instagram will prompt you to write a question and customize the poll choices. And after you've created your poll, you can post your story and your followers will be able to vote right away, which I definitely take part in. I think it's really fun. I see a lot of restaurants doing things like, what would you like to see on our menu? Chicken piccata or homemade meatloaf or something like that. And it's fun to feel like you can actually participate in the outcome of what they might be offering on their menu. So once somebody has voted on your poll, they'll see which choice is the lead at any given moment. And if they go to watch your story again later, they can see the final results once the poll is over. It's just a really fun way, I guess, to get your followers to engage with your content. So I would highly recommend running a poll. Another cool feature is adding a countdown to your story. And this is great if you're anticipating a sale, a product launch, or an event that you're hosting. So to do this, select countdown from the sticker section after taking a photo or video. From there, you'll have to name your countdown and add an end date or time and customize the color. And then you can share it to your story. What's really cool about this one is if one of your followers taps on your countdown, they will get a notification when the countdown ends. So it's a great way to have your followers stay in tune with what you're doing, the moment you're doing it, and also just to build some excitement around your event. You can also create highlights. So based off your stories that we just discussed, these will live on your page indefinitely. They're basically stories that will just be archived and then added to your profile if you choose. Stories last for 24 hours, so this is great to just kind of keep that content on your profile. Highlights, I definitely think, are something that you should use, but only when you already have a ton of content you've posted to your stories. As I said before, your highlights come from your archived stories, which can be located by going to your profile and clicking the 3 horizontal bars at the top right-hand corner and selecting archived. And you'll first have to create a story to add to your highlights, but once you do this, you can create a highlight by tapping the new circle at the far left. And just as a disclaimer, this will only be visible once you have archived stories available. So that's why I like to suggest that you post a couple stories before you get into highlights, because if you don't have any, it's not going to show you the option. You can select a cover photo for your highlights and give it a name. As you can see here, there's hashtag, buffer, podcast, shop grid, and comment, and they also kind of used a consistent theme with those colors, and the graphics just look very cohesive. So you'll be able to choose a profile image, I guess, for your highlights. So I really suggest doing that and kind of following your branding when you do that. Now, before we wrap things up, let's move on to building a following for your page. Social networks are all about community, and more than often, a community relevant to your brand already exists on Instagram. So one way to find your community is to engage with Instagrammers and brands relevant to your business. You can also encourage customers to post your products to their Instagram and in return share that content to your followers through a post or Instagram stories. There's nothing wrong with encouraging your followers to interact with your content and share your posts to spread awareness. As a consumer myself, when a business asks me to do this, it really just makes me feel like they value me as a customer and care about my opinion. So don't be shy with that. When someone comments on your post, be sure to reply to their comment, as this will create a little bit of a deeper connection. And if you have 20 comments, you don't necessarily need to reply to all of them. You can pick a few to respond to, but when you're just starting out, it's really nice to engage with those who do comment. Next, you can ask for a response when you post. As you write a caption, pose a question to prompt your followers. Ask your followers to use a hashtag relevant to your brand. Encourage them to comment and tag your page when they post. And as you can see, Target did a great job of this by encouraging people to tag their page when they post a Halloween look. And if you look closely, they even responded to someone and said, "Thanks for joining," which I thought was pretty cool. Finally, don't forget to self-promote. If you already have an established presence on social media, let your followers know that you have an Instagram. Cross-post, post it on everything possible. That's how you're going to get the most people to come over to your Instagram page and give you a follow. You can also give them a sneak peek by posting a screenshot to your Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter or Pinterest to grab their attention and build further following for your Instagram. That's all I have for you today. I would also like to talk a little bit about the Panther Biz HQ, which is a program through the Center for Business Growth and Innovation. Really helps small businesses with their social media marketing, and it's a great resource for some of you if you may be struggling or just need a little bit of extra guidance. So if you are interested in this program, you can contact Patrick. His email is below. And with that, I'll open it up to some questions.
Thanks, Sophie. So one question that came in from Robin is cross-posting between Instagram and Facebook. Can you do one post that goes both places?
Yes, you can, for sure. That's actually a really awesome way to share content to both platforms. I believe there should be an option when you are on Facebook and you go to post. There should be a button that you switch on. As if I can remember correctly, there's a button that you switch on and it says share to Instagram as well.
So there's a question here, how to enable ad manager for promotion. So since Instagram and Facebook are tied together, you can do promotions through the ads manager. So we will follow up with your question offline. That's a bit more intricate than probably we've got time to cover today. Couple thoughts. So obviously, as we went through it, we saw how we use Instagram. We talked a little about why we use Instagram. Instagram is very obviously photo or image focused. Can you talk a little bit about the differences between, say, Instagram and Facebook, and maybe who fits best on the Instagram platform?
Yeah, one of the main things I think you just mentioned is that it's very visual heavy. So if you have something that you think you can do a great job of displaying through pictures, it's going to be a perfect reason to join Instagram. I think with Instagram, a photo really speaks 1,000 words because you don't have that much room to elaborate. So when we talked a little bit about captions, keep it short and sweet. That's not the same case for Facebook. You have a lot of room to elaborate on Facebook. And also just one of the differences is the demographics. So on Instagram, 34 years of age and younger, and pretty evenly split between men and women. That's going to be the main demographic you should be considering when joining Instagram. So if your business caters to that, I would suggest using Instagram. Facebook is definitely different in that way. But if you can do both and think you can successfully reach your demographic on both, I would suggest doing that.
Yeah, Instagram is definitely quote unquote more trendy. I mean, I'm only in my 30s and I haven't quite figured out how to use Instagram yet either. So
Well, now you
don't
know.
don't feel bad if you're watching at home and be like, what is this? I was actually just messing with it in prep for this presentation the other day, trying to get my own personal account figured out to follow people and see things. And it does have a very in-depth way to explore and see other content that maybe doesn't exist on other social medias through those hashtags and things that Sophie talked about. So we are 6 minutes past our half an hour. So we're going to, I think we've got questions wrapped. So this is recorded. Slides are posted up on SourceLink. The video will get sent out to everyone who registered and attended. Sophie, any final thoughts or words of encouragement on how to use or set up Instagram for your business?
It's going to be difficult, just like anything new, but do some research. I mean, you can always reach out to me. I'll send you all a follow-up email. You'll have my contact information. If you're really struggling, I suggest reaching out to the Panther Biz HQ, but it'll be a learning curve. But once you get into it, I think it's really fun. It's my favorite platform. You can do some really creative things with it. And I think just give it a try. You'll never know what you can do with your business on Instagram if you don't give it a try.
So Valerie, who we've worked with, is telling me that we should comment on how helpful our group is. So thank you, Valerie. So we have worked with some, and we can get on we can get on and do some screen shares and walk you through, or get you reports. We can do lots of different things. So Valerie, we appreciate that and working together. Again, all of these are posted and up on iSourceLink. Be sure to keep an eye out for our iSourceLink newsletter, as we'll probably bring back more of these sometime in 2021. Until then, thank you everyone for joining us today. We appreciate you taking the time. Hope everyone has a happy and safe holiday season. And if there's any way that we can help, please let us know, and we're happy to do so. Sophie, thank you so much. Great job. We really appreciate your time today.
Thank you all.